Over recent years, our once great town Hebburn has been murdered of the industry which it was known for all over the world. Hebburn used to be called the most industrialised town in the world by many. Having built some of the world's most famous ships, the town employed thousands from all over the northeast. Famous ships that were built in Hebburn included HMS Kelly, commanded by Lord Louis Mountbatten. This, Hawthorne and Leslie, is the former site where glorious ships like that were built. So busy were the shipyards down here, at 5 o'clock when the buzzer went, the workforce would flood the streets. It's been described to me that it was the end of a football game. All the workforce would be heading home or to the local bar for a pint. The streets were also packed with workforce buses taking people to Gateshead or as far as up to Newcastle. But Mr. Leslie of Hawthorne and Leslie also set up a ferry port right at the bottom of this bank, which was called Hebburn Ferry Port, to ferry his workforce across from Walker and North Shields straight into the factories here in Hebburn. Not only is it the shipyards that have been ripped from the heart of our town, the Hebburn Technical College, which educated generations of academics and heavy industry apprentices, was left without investment until residents were told it had become too expensive to maintain. Hundreds of people used to be employed in the old railroad building, working for the Inland Revenue and spending their hard-earned cash in the vibrant new town. But once again, this was knocked down to make way for more houses and more jobs were lost. Martin Laffey served his apprentice as a young lad in Hebburn shipyards, and he has spoke out about the destruction of the town.
It devastates us, it really does devastate us. It breaks my heart every time I drive down this ferry bank and to drive into my flat, because this is where the work was, and to see houses on it, it literally breaks your heart.
The swimming baths and the community centre are also soon to be flattened to make way for more houses. So who murdered Hebburn?
You look at all the industry. There was no investment by Labour government, Conservative government. The industry's all folded, closed, moved elsewhere. In what a massive village now. And I blame successive governments. The Tories absolutely destroyed this in the way.
Martin had his own theory on when this terrible demise began.
Well, I've got to say it did start with Thatcher in 1979. Thatcher, without a shadow of a doubt, I've said to you before, I'm a rank left-wing socialist. The biggest disaster that befell this country, whether I was a shipbuilder or a prison officer, was Thatcher. She destroyed the heavy industry. It's been 30 years since the miners' strike. I went through all that. We used to, at the shipyard lads did, we used to collect tins of food for the miners to feed the miners. We used to look after each other. It's gone. Thatcher started it. Thatcher started without a doubt.